Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to continue to talk about Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman, that's right. Pretty Woman, that wonderful movie from 1990. That piece of shit fucking chick flick that I fucking hate. Okay, well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I was kidding. But it's not that good either. It's not that good either, okay? You women put that movie way the hell up there, okay? Yeah, it's not that great of a movie. All right? Okay, anyway, so what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view. I am Diego, of course, okay? And I do not filter myself, okay? So if you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out of here right now. I will not censor myself for you, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about this movie from a straight man's point of view. That's a point of view you never got when you watch this movie with your girlfriends and your gay friends and your pajama parties and all that kind of bullshit, all right? I'm going to give you a straight man's point of view. I'm going to tell you the truth because that's what the world needs, a little bit more truth, and we don't have any truth right now, okay? So I'm going to give you the truth, okay? Straight up, baby. No lube. No lube here. The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Okay, because I don't think you can. In fact, I know you can't. I know you can't. But you're going to get it anyway, all right? Okay, so thank you very much for watching me. Okay, now to start off with here, okay, it had been a long time since I've seen this movie. This movie is a cultural icon. This movie put Julia Roberts on the map. Okay, this is what turned her into a movie star. Okay, Richard Gere was already a movie star, but this made Julia Roberts a movie star. Okay, pretty much every girl I know has watched this movie. I was in high school when this movie came out. Okay, so I remember the effect it had on the students that I went to school with. Okay, the girls that I went to school with, but mostly it had an effect on our moms. The middle-aged women would talk about this movie all the time. They love this movie. Okay, like what the fuck, all right? When I finally did, I did not watch it when it first came out. Okay, because I was busy watching good movies like Die Hard 2 and like Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. You know, Dick Tracy. You know, that kind of shit. You know, I think Predator 2 came out that year. I know I definitely watched that. I did not watch this shit. I gotta give two fucking shits about Julia Roberts, all right? And apparently all of you did. The rest of you did. So you guys made her into a star. Because let's face it, what is the rom-com? What is the chick flick? Okay, the chick flick is basically you get some pretty boy that does not act like a real man, and you get some girl who's pretty but not super pretty, because if she's super pretty, then the women aren't going to like her. So basically, rom-coms are about getting the girl to fall in love with the girl, to identify with the girl in the movie, okay? That's why they're usually always like some pretty in their early 30s, they're professional, they have no kids, you know, that kind of bullshit. Oh my fucking God. It's a fucked up genre, okay? And the only reason men don't complain about the way we're portrayed, the way women complain about the way women are portrayed in guy movies, the only reason men don't complain about the way they're portrayed in chick flicks is because we don't fucking watch them. That's why if we watch them, we would complain if we watched them, but we don't watch them. That's the thing, okay? You girls don't watch our movies. I mean, I guess you do sometimes, okay? But even if it's a guy movie, you know, ladies, if you watch a guy movie and it's good, it's fucking good. It doesn't matter that it's a guy movie. I know lots of women that have enjoyed the movies that I enjoy because I'm a guy, I like guy movies, okay? And they never would have watched it if it hadn't been for me, you know? So they never would have enjoyed it if it hadn't been for me. Now, every once in a while, I have stumbled across a gem in the chick flick department. This was not one of them. This one set chick flicks back, I think, a good fucking 30 years. But every once in a while, there are some good ones. And when they are good, I will point them out here, okay? But this is not one of them. Although I do got to be honest with you, it's not that bad. Pretty Woman is not the big piece of shit that I remembered it to be. I haven't watched it again recently, obviously, so I can review it here. It's not as bad as I remembered it to be. I was younger back then when I saw it the last time. And now that I'm looking at it from a, you know, I can appreciate the direction. I can appreciate Gary Marshall's direction. I can see what he was trying to do, not just with the characters, but with the scenery. You know, what was going on here, the juxtaposition, why everything was placed the way it was, why people said certain things. You know, I didn't catch it before because I wasn't paying attention to it back then. But now that I'm watching it with critical eyes, you know, from an adult sensibilities, I can see the hard work that was put into this movie and what they were trying to say. Now I understand it, so I can appreciate it more on an adult level. But as just a fucking a chick flick, fucking pretty boy meets pretty girl bullshit, yeah, I couldn't really appreciate it back then. And I still don't, okay, because nothing about me watching this movie over and over again changes the fact that it's about hypergamy, okay? It's about being a fucking Prince Charming. It's about buying your way into true love, okay? Think about that. You bought your way into true love, okay? This means you spent money for true love, okay? Yes, the love of a good woman is the best thing that money can buy, all right? That's the message of this movie. Okay, but anyway, all right, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so where we left off last time, okay, basically, Julia Roberts, or Vivian Ward, that's her character, the prostitute, the hooker. She's 22 years old when she filmed this movie. Okay, she comes back with Ed. All right, they were talking. And he had gotten depressed because about some business meeting that he took her to, where the old man, played by Ralph Bellamy, plays this old man named James Ward, whose company is about to get taken over by Ed's company. Ed Lewis, that's Richard Gere. And so he's brooding on the balcony about his father, you know, how he hadn't spoken to his father in 4.5 years. His father died last month, you know, and that kind of shit. He didn't want to talk about it, so he played the piano, which Richard Gere actually played the piano for real and wrote that piece of music for real. In real life, okay, and then he fucks her. He smashes, he bangs out the fucking piano keys, then he bangs out Vivian on top of the piano, okay. Okay, so now we're caught up. Okay, the next scene, Vivian's still in bed, she's asleep, but Ed is awake. He's fully dressed in a suit. He's all happy and excited. Well, he seems more full of energy than he was before because he doesn't sleep. Remember, he doesn't sleep. He sleeps a couple of hours a night and that's it. He doesn't really need a lot of sleep. This guy runs on willpower, okay? He runs on fucking just being an asshole, you know? He speaks very eloquently. Like, he doesn't use slang words. Everything he says is right out of the dictionary. He doesn't use consonants or he doesn't use slang. He doesn't use consonants. All right. He says like I believe that is irrelevant. He didn't say that I don't think I care. He says I believe it is my belief that is irrelevant. You know, that's the way he talks. All right. Very Ivy League pedigree. He was born rich. All right. His first car was a limo. All right. So anyway, he wakes up and he wakes up Vivian. Okay, who's still crashed out in the bed. He's telling her, "Hey, get up, wake up, Vivian. It's time to shop." Ooh, yeah, that got her up. Because remember, he's got the fucking black MasterCard that he gives her, okay? He's completely dressed except for his shoes, and he put those on while he sits in bed, waking up Vivian, tells her it's time to shop. And he gives her his MasterCard and tells her, "Go. This is good. If anybody at any store gives you any problems with this card, you tell them to call the hotel, okay?" Oh, okay. Oh, someone say shopping? You know, yeah, of course that's going to get her wet. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't take him right there when he said shopping, time to shop. Okay, anyway, so she's like, I'm surprised, you know, Vivian, that for the event that we had the other night, you only bought one dress. Because remember, she spent all day buying one dress that Eleanor Donahue helped her pick out. She wore a dress for that dinner, that business dinner, okay? But he said, you only bought one dress. I'm surprised. I thought she would have bought more. You know, she's like, well, it was not a pleasant experience. He's like, why not? He's like, well, they were rude to me. He's like, they were rude to you? Exactly like that. Okay, see, what happened was, earlier in the movie, all she had was her hooker clothes. Okay, she didn't have any, and she had a big wad of cash in her purse. Okay, all she had was her hooker clothes. Okay, so she had to go shopping on Rodeo Drive, the ritzy part of Beverly Hills, in her hooker clothes, and they wouldn't, and the stores would not serve her because obviously she looks like a fucking hooker, because she is a fucking hooker. Okay, she looks like she's covered in AIDS, which she probably is. Okay, they were rude to her. They kicked her out of the store. Okay, so she had to go back to the hotel. The hotel manager had to call someone, Bridget, you know, to help her out to buy that dress. Well, she doesn't want to go through that experience again. He did not know this. Ed did not know this, that she went through this. So now he's like, oh, really? You know, and I understand that this is the kind of things that a boyfriend does. Okay, like I know this has happened to me before. You know, where like a girlfriend of mine a while back, girlfriend of mine said some guy was disrespectful to her, like called her a bitch or something, you know, for something stupid. Like she didn't even do anything wrong. He just felt like calling her a bitch, you know. And I'm like, really? That guy called you a bitch? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. He cut in line and he called me a bitch. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I think I can take care of this, all right? You know, that kind of thing. And he's basically the same way. He's defending her. Okay. Now, why is he doing this? Okay. Like I said, he's a street. He already knows he's better than her in some sense. Not realistically. Nobody's better than anybody. But I mean that he knows that his pedigree is higher than hers. His social value is higher than hers. She's a street hooker. He's a fucking billionaire. Like literally, he's a billionaire. Okay. Single, good looking, no kids. You know, he is divorced. Okay. But like I say, he's single. He's good looking, no kids. He's smart. He's witty. He's funny. He's kind. You know. He's intelligent. He's fucking Prince fucking Charming, okay? And he's straight too, okay? And his only problem is he can't find true love. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so So he decides that he wants to I don't know, defend her honor somehow. This is the kind of thing that guys do when they're courting somebody. When they really like a girl, they want to put their best foot forward, okay? But this guy already knows that he's already won her over in that sense. He's already fucked her. He's already taken her out. You know, he's already done all these things. Okay, so realistically, if this was a realistic situation, let's say, for example, this guy really did start developing feelings for this street hooker that she is. Okay, hey, she might be a nice street hooker, but she's still a street hooker. Okay, he wouldn't do this. Okay, he wouldn't put himself on the line like that. He wouldn't personally go out there. Okay, this is the way that rich people like Harvey Weinstein and stuff. Okay, this is how they get women. You know, they do bullshit like this. But these guys that are desperate do this kind of stuff. Okay, guys that know they could not get a woman without their money, they pull shit like this. Okay, the more I buy for her, the more she likes me. Okay, and he's starting to do that stuff. Okay, now that's the kind of stuff that an incel would do. There are incels out there that have a shitload of money, and that's what they do. They fly girls out to to fucking Dubai, or whatever, or Paris. That's what they do. Okay, because they can't just go up to a girl and win her over that way. They can't. They gotta buy her shit. And of course, the more she gets, the more she wants. The more attractive she is to him, the more that he fucking buys her for her. Okay, and that's what's going on here. But this guy's a good-looking rich guy. He doesn't fucking need to do this. So I don't understand why he's doing it. Okay, he already sees himself as better than her. So why would he lower himself to have to do the kind of things that the average guy that's trying to keep his girl or get her interested in him would have to do? He doesn't need to do any of that shit. So why is he doing it? Because he likes her so much? I mean, this guy, he's not exactly an incel. He fucks a lot of girls. Women are always throwing themselves at him. So what makes this girl so special? Other than that she's very, very beneath him socially, economically, culturally, intellectually, every which way. So why is he going out of his way? The only reason I could see that a guy would do like him would do this in real life is if he was patronizing her. If he was setting her up for like a practical joke or something, a cruel practical joke, if you know what I mean. That's the only way I could see him doing this for real. And he's not doing that. So what the fuck? It makes no sense to me. But this movie was written by a fucking gay guy. All right, that's all you need to know. Okay, so anyway, so he flips out, okay? Was Greek to her. So anyway, so he decides to march her down Rodeo Drive himself. He goes with her. Yeah, they go with her to Rodeo Drive, okay? And she's still wearing her hooker outfit, but this time she's got one of his shirts, his long sleeve Oxford white shirts, but she's got it tied around her waist, tied around her stomach, okay? She's still wearing her fucking, she's still wearing her tight fucking blue skirt though, okay? And she's chewing gum, and she's fidgeting. Okay, he tells her to quit fidgeting and get rid of your gum. So what she does, she just turns her head and spits it out, and it almost hits a woman walking by the sidewalk. She is this far from hitting her. I mean, if you see the movie, the woman actually dodges out of the way when Julia Roberts spits the gum out right at her. She's like, ah! Okay, they stop in front of Valentino. That's the store they're in front of. Okay, and she spits the gum out. And she turns around, they start walking inside, and Edward says, I cannot believe you just did that. But he says it without his lips moving. No, watch the scene again. His lips aren't moving. He turns around, okay, that was a dub. Okay, that sentence was dubbed in there. It's so obvious, okay. Okay, so they go inside Valentino. That's the store they go into, okay? Now, here's the part that really upset me, and I about decided I wasn't going to review this movie anymore. It really, really pissed me off. This is what happens. Now, those of you who've seen this movie 100 times know exactly what happens here. He goes in there. The first thing we see is he's talking to the manager. Mr. Hollister is his name. Okay, and this guy's just a fucking suck-up kiss-ass. Okay, now, earlier, before they walked in the store, Edward told her that the people at the stores, they don't respect people. They respect the credit card. Okay? They respect money, okay? They don't respect you, they respect the credit card, okay? And it's true, okay? So he walks in there and he's nice. I mean, at first, Edward's pleasant to the manager. And of course, Vivian just standing in the background watching everything happen, smiling, because basically this guy is fucking, showing her off, telling everybody to, that, hey, be nice to her or else, And so he's talking, and what really pisses me off about this scene is number one, this manager is getting emasculated. Okay, he's getting emasculated. And number two, this is not the store that was rude to her. This is not the store that was rude to Vivian. That store is like further down the street. So if this scene, if you wanted me to be on her side during this scene, they should have gone back to the store where those women were rude to her the day before. That's the store they should have gone to, and this scene should have taken place there. But it didn't, okay? He fucking decided to take it out, his frustrations at his hooker love toy being disrespected. He decided to take that out on a store that was innocent. Innocent. Now, they might have done some other stuff, but we didn't see it, okay? Now, maybe they would have treated her that way too, but it wasn't this store. She didn't go into the store. She went to a different store. That's the store that this should have happened, okay? But instead it happens here, and it happens to a man who had nothing to do with the way that she was treated the day before, okay? So he basically gets emasculated big time by Ed Lewis, and the entire time this is happening, Vivian, you look at her in the back, she's just like, like she's enjoying it. She's enjoying this guy make a fool of himself. He's stammering. You know, he's, I mean, you know, he's like, hey, Ed says, hey, look at her. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful in your life? Because, like, oh, no, sir. No, sir, I have not. I mean, except her. Do you have anything here as beautiful as that? Well, yes, sir, I do. Oh, I mean, no, I don't. She's more beautiful than anything we have in here. That's what I meant to say, sir. You know, that kind of bullshit. You know, he says, like, now listen, Mr. Hollister. We are about to spend an obscene amount of money here. So you'd better make sure that you and your staff do the appropriate level of sucking up to us. You know, he's like, oh, absolutely, sir, whatever, you know, like that, you know? So he's basically, he just tells you, you better suck up to me and you better suck up to her, especially to her, okay? Like, he basically threatens this guy. And what does he do? Of course he does, oh, absolutely, whatever you say, sir, I'll suck your dick right now. You know, that kind of shit. Literally, yeah, that happens, you know? This guy, Mr. Hoss, he's a nervous fucking kiss ass. Now, I understand all about customer service, okay? But, you know, if you got a client that fucking tells you basically to get on your knees and blow him, then there's a line that's been drawn here. Now, I understand this is a rom-com. This is the com part of it, okay? But just to see this innocent person be emasculated for something that he didn't even do, you know? It bothered me. It bothered me a lot, okay? It's an abuse of power. Okay, it's Vivian using her fucking her client, her John, to fucking abuse other people on her behalf. People that had nothing to do with offending her. Nothing to do with offending her. That was bullshit, okay? She should have told him, hey, listen, this isn't the store where they treated me bad. It's the one down over there. That's the one we need to go to, okay? You see what I mean? That's what should have happened, but that didn't happen. Instead, because she said that they were rude to her, he decided to take it out on Valentino. Basically, on the Valentino label, all right? And that should not have happened. That bothered me a lot. That pissed me off. I can't really sympathize with Vivian now because I know that she's an asshole, okay? Just like him, okay? An asshole. Yeah, and yes, Edward is an asshole, okay? He's not some altruistic guy. He's a fucking asshole, all right? That part is believable. A guy like him absolutely would be an asshole, okay? So that's going on here, okay? He exploits it, like I said, and tells them that they're going to spend a spin amount of money. He wants the appropriate level of sucking up to him, okay? And like I said, Vivian's just smiling in the background, okay? And she's watching the manager, Mr. Hollister, make a fool of himself, okay? Stammer his words and all that kind of shit, okay? So like I said, it looks like Vivian's just as much of an asshole as Edward is, okay? Anyway, so the entire staff, they basically fawn all over Vivian. Okay, they treat her like a fucking queen. They're showing her stuff. They're kissing her ass. You know, and she's just like enjoying all of it. And Mr. Hollister at one point goes up to Edward and says like, did you mean really offensive or did you mean obscene? And he's like, I mean really obscene amount of money. He's like, oh, excellent. Thank you very much. So I would appreciate the appropriate level of sucking up. He's like, absolutely, sir. I should tell you that you are not only handsome, you look very powerful. I noticed that as soon as you walked. He said, no, Mr. Hollister, no, not me. Her. He goes back on his cell phone. He's like, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. I'm sorry, sir. You know, and then he goes back and starts sucking up to Vivian. Now, I understand this is a female fantasy, you know, but still, it's being an asshole to innocent people. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. If you're trying to win over if you're trying to win the audience over to your protagonist, don't make your protagonist an asshole to innocent people, okay? Because if you do that, you're going to lose sympathy for them, okay? You can't sympathize with someone that you don't like. You see what I mean? Okay. So yeah, so that's going on here. Edward makes a phone call on his cell phone in the middle of the store, okay? And then we start to hear the song Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. It's called Oh Pretty Woman. It came out in 1964. Roy Orbison, who always wears these sunglasses for some reason. Anyway, yeah, he sings this song. We start to hear it, but then it stops, okay? And Edward says, Hollister, we're gonna need some more sucking up. Okay. So that's going on here. Okay. Edward takes that phone call. The cell phone is actually Philip, his lawyer, Jason Alexander's character, the short, bald Jewish guy. And he tells them that the guy, James Morse, is attempting to outbid them. Okay, now the subplot's going on here is that Edward has a business. He owns this company, okay? And what they do is they buy other companies. You could say they take over other companies. He's a corporate raider, okay? He's very Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. Okay, he takes over a company, he splits it apart and sells it for more than what he bought it for. Okay, he's about to take over this company owned by James Morse. It's run by James Morse and his grandson, David Morse, okay? And they build battleships. That's what they do. They're about to get awarded a contract with the Navy to build 10 battleships. Okay, well, Edward wants to acquire their company before that happens. Okay, that way he can buy it cheaply. Okay, otherwise the stock is going to go up too high. So he basically blocked that sale. He had as a corrupt senator in his pocket that blocked it in appropriations so that they cannot make the deal with the Navy. Hence, the stock price is going to stay low. Now, Edward owns 11 million shares. Okay, so he's about to take over the company. And they can't do anything about it. So when they found out about this, when they had their business dinner, basically James told him, James Morris told him, he's like, I'm gonna tear you apart. Okay, and what he meant by that was he managed to get some financing from his employees. He decided to turn his company into a profit-sharing company so that employees can own a part of it. That way he could raise up enough money and go up to the bank and get a loan. He got a loan from a bank called Paramount Bank, which apparently in this fictional world is a very, very big bank. Okay, because they have to underwrite this loan before the deal can go through. So now they do have the money, okay, to buy back their shares. Okay, so now what's Ed going to do? He's got to buy. I mean, he's been working on this thing for a year to acquire this company, to take over this company, and now he's being blocked. Okay, so he's got to come up with a way to circumvent the laws so he can get this company, okay? And that's what he's been doing. All right, like I said, he's a sleazy guy. He doesn't give a shit about them, this guy's company or nothing. All he wants to do is take it, break it apart, and sell it, and make his fucking $1 billion. It's a $1 billion deal. All right. So he gets a call and they tell him that they managed to raise some money on their own and they're going to try to fucking stop him from acquiring their company, from taking over their company. Okay. Okay, so so he has to leave the store and have an emergency meeting with his staff. Okay, but he does tell Philip, I want to know the name of the bank that's going to underwrite this loan. Okay, and so we can do something about it. All right. Okay, so he tells Vivian, he gives Vivian his credit card. He says, okay, I have to leave on business right now, and he gives her a kiss and stuff, well, on the cheek, I think. And he tells the manager, Hollister, he says, Sir Hollister, she has my card. He's like, and we will help her spend it. Okay. So now we go into a montage. Okay, Vivian starts trying out a whole shitload of different outfits. And she's dancing around. Everyone's fawning over her. All the women are waiting on her hand and foot. She's trying all sorts of fucking shit. And we go into the Pretty Woman song. Completely. The Roy Orbison Pretty Woman song from 1964. Pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty woman. I mean, just watching this girl who was a street hooker all of a sudden being treated like royalty is just kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's weird for her too, you can tell. Okay, well, you got to remember, Julia Roberts was only 22 when she filmed this movie, and Richard Gere was 40. Okay, so he's already got like gray hair and shit. All right, so yeah, so she's there. You hear the song playing. Okay, and everyone's waiting on her hand. At one scene, she's sitting down, and there's a male sales rep there. Okay, and Vivian mentioned that she likes the guy's tie. Oh, I like that tie you're wearing. You know what? Edward would love that tie. So Hollister tells him, take off the tie. Take it off right now. Take off the tie right now and give it to her. So he starts taking off the tie. Like, whatever you want, I will lick your asshole. I don't care. Whatever you want. That's basically how they're treating her, which is kind of fucking sucks. It kind of sucks. It kind of shows you how fake Hollywood is, how pretentious they are. Okay, So he does. I mean, they even order a pizza. Okay, while she's shopping, they order a pizza. Okay. I mean, this is fucking hypergamy at its best, and it is disgusting to me. Okay, that this is the message they're telling women. Okay, or they're telling this to men too. Okay, the more money you have, the more the woman. Not only the more money you have, not only are you required to share that money with whatever girl you're dating, but she, by right, has the right to treat other people like shit because she is in control of your money. That's what we're learning here. That's the message of this movie, right there. The more money you have, the more she loves you. You see me? What the fuck? What the fuck? Guys out there, if you're watching this, you straight guys out there that are watching me right now, okay, no, you are the fucking prize. You are the prize, not her. You are the prize, okay? This movie has you thinking that Vivian Ward is 1 in a million, okay? That's the whole premise of this movie. That's the pretext of this movie. You see, she might be a hooker, but she's 1 in a million, okay? She's not like your average hooker, okay? She's a good one. She's 1 in a million. No, that's not the truth. The truth is she is 1 of a million. Guys, she is 1 of a million. Okay? She's 1 of a million. That's the truth. I've been around the block to know long enough to know that. All right? Let me tell you something. There's one thing I know 100% about women. Okay? 100%. It's the only thing I know for sure. 100% about women. Okay? When a woman goes up to you and she tells you, you don't get it. I'm not like other girls. When a woman says that, what she's really telling you is that she is just exactly like other girls. You know why? Because every fucking girl says that. That's why. That's why. Okay? That's the truth. Okay? They ain't going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to gain by lying to you. I'm going to tell you the truth here. Straight man's point of view. All right, anyway, so yeah, so she's all excited. We hear the Pretty Woman song. She's walking down the street and she's probably wearing about $10,000 worth of clothes. That's her shoes, her hat, her outfit, you know, with the big shoulder pads, which were big in the late 80s. And she's carrying all sorts of bags as well. So she's probably walking around with maybe 30, 40 grand worth of fucking shit, okay, down Rodeo Drive. And I know Julia Roberts is 22, but with that outfit on, she looks like she's 35, 40 years old. Okay, she's dressed like a much older woman than she actually is. Okay, with her hair done up, the glasses and all, you know, I mean, she's not wearing glasses, but the hat, you know, the big shoulder pads, the business-like dress that she's wearing, you know, she looks older than her actual age. Okay. Yeah. And of course, she's all excited about this, you know, oh my God, you know, look, I'm so special. Look what's happening. No, you're not. Okay. You got a sugar daddy. Okay, you're no different than fucking any other fucking girl, every day the fucking stripper working at fucking baby dolls. Okay, they all got fucking sugar daddies, okay? This is no big fucking deal, okay? You will be replaced, okay? They get replaced, you will be replaced, okay? It's like Matthew McConaughey says, okay? Every year I get older, but every year they stay the same. And it's true, it's true. All right. So she's walking down Rodeo Drive, okay? She's getting looks everywhere. Everyone's looking at her now because of her expensive clothes that she's wearing and shit, you know? Okay. Like I said, she's wearing maybe about $10,000 she's wearing, and she's probably carrying another 30 or 40 grand in the bags, okay? You know, and like I said, the outfit doesn't make her look older. Okay, so she goes back, she walks by the store that was rude to her. The one that treated her like shit. She walks by that store and she decides to go in her outfit, carrying those bags. And she walks in there, okay, and she sees the saleswoman, the one that was rude to her. She goes, do you remember me? And they're like, no, we don't, ma'am. She's like, okay, you were rude to me. I was in here the other day, okay, to look for stores, and you were rude to me. Now, you work on commission, right? She's like, yes, you do. Okay, well, you look at me. Yeah, you know what? Look at me, huh? Big mistake. Big mistake. You know, and then she walks out of there. Basically, shoves it in. Now, like I said a minute ago, okay, this is the store that scene should have happened in. I would have been, if that had been that store, I would have been, yes, but it wasn't. They took it out on an innocent store. Okay, that's bullshit. That should not have happened. Okay, and that way Edward could have chastised the manager. You know, at that store, go like, hey, you were rude to her the other day. You know, no, you're gonna apologize to her right now. That kind of thing. You know, make her grovel, make them grovel, and then start buying stuff. Okay, that's what should have happened. Anyway, okay, so like I said, money's nothing to him. So fuck it, he doesn't care. He just gave her his fucking credit card, his black Amex. I mean, what the fuck? She's gonna do whatever, she's gonna spend it on whatever the fuck she wants. Anyway, yeah, so she's like, you know, big mistake, huge. I have to go shopping now. And then she walks out of there, okay? Okay, so the lesson that we have learned here in this scene is that the next time that a street hooker comes into your store, check to see if she's the kind with the billionaire sugar daddy. You got to check on that. Next time you see a street hooker walking in your store, check to see if she's got a billionaire sugar daddy. Okay, that way you won't make this mistake again. Okay, but you see, Yeah, that was their mistake. Okay. Let me tell you something. I used to work in sales. Okay. I ain't gonna say where, but yes, a big part of making the sale is you got to read your mark. You got to read your customer. Okay, when they come in. Okay, depending on what they're dressed like, that tells you a lot about how much they're capable of spending. Now, there's lots of market research that's done on this. Okay, about how much money people tend to spend. Okay, depending on what industry you're in. Okay, so by reading your customer, you can kind of get an idea of what they're looking for. Okay, it's a part of sales. So like one thing we used to look at when someone would come into our shop was, okay, like if a guy, if he's older, like in his 50s or 40s or 60s, he's got gray hair, he's wearing a polo shirt and khakis. Okay, yeah, this guy is probably going to spend a lot of money. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, at least I'm not going to tell you where it was, but at least in the industry that I was in back then. Okay, you get a white guy who's old, gray hair, polo shirt, and khakis. He walks in the store. Yes, he's going to spend a lot of money. Okay. Okay, so that's just so that's the guy you all gravitate to. Oh, you have to whatever you want, sir. That kind of thing. That's just reading your customer, But anyway, so yeah, absolutely. So they read a street hooker walked in. How were they supposed to know that she had a billionaire fucking Prince Charming / Christian Grey in her pocket, right? There's no way they could have known that, If it had been my store, I wouldn't want a prostitute hanging out in my store either. I mean, I wouldn't have been as rude as they were, but I would have asked her to leave, or at least have her explain herself. What are you doing here? Are you here to solicit? Are you here to whatever? Do I need to call the police? Or, that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff, but I would have been nicer about it, and I would have tried to find out what she's doing there. If she had convinced me, hey, I'm here to spend money, I'm actually here to buy something, then I'd be okay, well, let's help you out then, that kind of thing. All right, but oh well. Okay, so that's going on here, and she acts like she's all proud of herself. She acts like, oh, I just stuck it to them. They were mean to me, and I got them back. Very petty, very petty. Okay, but no, you didn't, Vivian. You didn't get back at anybody. Okay, you didn't do shit. Okay, Edward did everything. Edward did. You just spent his money. Okay? You spent his money. You got a sugar daddy. Okay? And you spent his money. And you're acting like it's yours. It's not. You didn't do any of this. You didn't do any of this. Okay? You didn't earn the money to go into that store. Okay? A guy gave it to you. He gave it to you. Okay? There's a big difference. You want to talk about entitlement? Yeah, that's entitlement right there. All right. So Barney, the hotel manager, played by Hector Elizondo, he notices Vivian when she comes back in the hotel. This time the bellhops are carrying her bags for her, and she's walking in that expensive fucking dress, and he sees her, and he looks at her, he's like, just like that, like he's proud of her. Proud of her for what? What are you proud of her for? Because she sucks a lot of dick, she fucks a lot of guys for money, and that one of them bought her a bunch of nice clothes? Is that what you're proud of her for? What the fuck? This movie's all sorts of fucking stupid. Anyway, okay. So anyway, I'm going to stop my review right here, and I will be back shortly for my next review. Thank you for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.